Wrapping up with 2 minute, really competitive out there. Really good job by the defense. They won 2 minute drill today. Guys back, Mace full speed. I don't think there's any other update besides the ones that we went over earlier this week. So, but obviously feel free to ask about that. So, open questions.
Just how is KT looking now that without limitations? Just
look good. Look good. Looks normal. So, looking good for Saturday.
Injuries are part of the game. They're also dealing with their fair share, particularly at the cornerback position. If they're down to particularly a true freshman, junior hasn't played a whole lot. Just what have you seen from their depth at corner when they're going to be down?
Well, you know, they're long and they're athletic. They're very physical. I mean, they bring so much corner cat. They get those guys involved in the run game a ton. They've shown. I mean, they played man coverage. They played 3. They played, you name it. They played it. They played some middle open as well. So I don't see. They're so talented that I don't see much of if any of a drop-off in any of their players. And they're so physical up front. They do such a great job getting after the quarterback and knocking back the run, creating negative plays, putting you in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 a bunch where I don't think that it affects them or their game.
They were down 3 running backs last week, and now at least 1, maybe the other 2 again. I realize you prepare like they're there, but if in game they're out again, just what does that start to do strategically in terms of how you play a team when they could be down to just 1 running back again?
You prepare for a team with what they have shown, and you just go from there. I don't think we'll ever speak strategy in a press conference.
Stanford's a team that's known for having a really physical front on both ends. Since you guys were able to have that experience against a front like Ohio State, how does that help you kind of coming into a matchup like this?
Well, I mean, this front's about as good as we have seen. And credit to everything that we've played. We've seen some really good fronts this year. So tremendous amount of respect for them because what they do really, really well, they're gifted, they're very talented. They come out of their hips and they use their hands really well. They strike blockers. And defensive linemen that strike blockers are really difficult to move. So a credit to them. The technique and the fundamentals that they exhibit on a game-by-game basis are really impressive. So our offensive linemen know we have to be at our best. We have to be technically sound and play real physical football to match intensities.
I don't know if you comment on social media, a couple of your players that helped out a student in the student union the other day. I'd imagine as a coach that preaches building men off the field that are active and helpful in the community, I'd imagine that has to give you a little pride, feel a little gratifying, right?
Well, to me, it's I know everyone's proud of them, and they do so many things like that never ever makes the media or social media. But I'm glad that did because it's a tremendous reflection of them, their values, their principles, how they've been raised. Certainly, shines a good light on the program as well. But those guys are awesome. They're awesome as people. They're awesome as players, and they're all about it. They don't do it to get a tweet or a post. That's what they are. They are what they are 24/7. So really happy about their opportunity to help somebody.
Is that it?
What do you guys look for when you're recruiting D linemen, specifically a guy like Brandon? What things did he display coming out of Florida that gave you hope that he could kind of come in and be this player he's been?
Well, Brandon Dorless. Brandon was a basketball body type almost, 260 pounds. He was long, 6'4". What you saw on tape was a raw, big, explosive athlete that was willing to throw his body in there and play physically recklessly. By that I mean that he wasn't afraid of contact, wouldn't shy away from double teams. He was slippery. He was very hard to get hands on. He was very disruptive, and he didn't really know what he was doing. He was very new at it. And then got a chance to meet his family, incredible family. Again, tremendous principles and values and virtues. And a guy that really wanted to be great. A guy that wanted to get away from home. He wanted to push himself to the limit and be challenged, and it's been working out really well. He's just scratching the surface. He's off to a really good year, and the best is yet to come for him.
He's obviously had a couple of really big games this year. What have you seen him kind of improve on and progress with as the season's gone on?
Well, the first thing he did was change his body. He's now tipping about 290 pounds, more than he was 275, 280. So he's got more explosive power. Now he has I would say more of a complete package where he can play with power and still he's probably more, I would say, elusive, athletic, flexible at this weight than he was when he was a little bit lighter. That body's developing and developing fast. So you got a guy that really could do it on the edge, could do it inside, could hold a point on a double team, could take on man blocks. But the best part about him is that he's hungry, he's driven, he wants to get better, and like Like today was another example. He was one of the guys that really helps drive practice. Like Verone McKinley, they drive practice. Noah Sewell, they drive practice. Brandon's one of those guys that really like gets after it during the week.
How has DJ Johnson handled, you talked about a little bit, practicing time with offense, defense. How has he handled that, and is it comfortable to continue in doing both?
Man, he's impressive, because that's hard. You know, it feels like every time I look up, he's running from one side of the field to the other, and managing that. To do that, he's got to spend extra time here studying both sides of the ball, because we're not limiting a package to him on offense anymore. Now the whole thing is open to him. Okay, so how many snaps a game can he get? A guy like that, he's in really good shape. He's 268, 272 pounds in that range right there. He's physical, and that physicality is something that you want and need on a down-by-down basis. So as long as he can handle it, we're going to keep throwing it at him.
Can you recall a player doing that anywhere that you've been?
No, I can't. I can't.
Keon Ware-Hudson's a guy that's been big for you, and stuff in the run. What have you seen from him in practice and just his development?
I can't speak enough about Keon now, because that guy is tough. I'm talking about tough. I'm talking about he gets banged up, and even more than banged up, and he just goes. He's got a relentless motor. He was brought up and raised the right way. Awesome parents. He practices hard. He trains hard. He finds extra time, or creates extra time, to really dive into improving himself technically, fundamentally. Spends a ton of time watching film, studying, and he's a team player. He's done his time. He's improved tremendously. Now he's an impact guy for us, and he's another guy that we believe is just getting started. We're really proud of him, fired up for him. Like he's one of our frontline guys. He's a guy that you always want to go to battle with.
A lot of those D-line guys have described Dorles's leadership style as lead by example, but that can be kind of cliche sometimes. What specific things does he do rather in practice that you see?
I don't think there's any cliche about it. I think they're completely accurate. He's doing it, and I think that's what guys are gravitating to.
So technique stuff mostly with some of the younger guys?
Performance, effort, toughness, resiliency, physicality. Awesome.